So I'd like to introduce you to the concept of intermittent fasting. This is also sometimes referred to as the warrior diet, also sometimes referred to as the hunter-gatherer diet, but they all revolve around the same concept. And that concept has been around for many, many years, but only recently has gained tremendous popularity. So what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is simply a window of time where you eat, followed by a window of time where you don't eat, where you fast. Typical versions call for a fasting window of 16 to 24 hours, followed by a period of normal caloric intake. And that's important to point out. Intermittent fasting is not necessarily a caloric reducing diet. You do not have to reduce your daily intake of calories to receive the benefits of intermittent fasting. And I think that's a very prevalent misconception about intermittent fasting. So while you are restricted to the number of hours or the window of time that you have to eat in a given day, you are not necessarily restricted to the calories. It doesn't mean you should overdo it. If you normally would eat 2,500 calories in a day, this doesn't mean that you can go out and eat 4,000 calories. But it also doesn't mean you have to cut it down to 1,000 calories either. You can still eat a normal daily intake. Uh, the only restriction is that you have to consume those calories within that eating window. And so you'll see here at the bottom is a very simplistic graphic. If you decide to follow a 16-hour fasting window, then you would have an 8-hour window of where you would eat. So that's 8 plus 16 is 24 hours. So you would have 8 hours where you eat, and let's say you're a healthy male and you typically would eat 2,500 calories in a day or 3,000 calories in a day. You would eat those calories within this 8-hour window. It doesn't matter how many times you eat within this window, whether you eat, more towards the beginning or more towards the end. It doesn't matter. That's the great thing about this program, is that as long as you follow that fasting window, and as long as you don't kill yourself with calories during the eating period, you will get the benefits of intermittent fasting. So why does it work, or what are the benefits? Well, I've listed here a number of benefits, and quite frankly, if you search intermittent fasting on the internet, you'll probably come across many more. But the truth of the matter is that research has shown that intermittent fasting is a tremendous tool for a number of things: life longevity, weight loss, reducing stress. Uh, 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 Helping with diabetes, reduces blood glucose and insulin levels. There's so many benefits to intermittent fasting. But the point is, there are many, and that's the thing you need to remember. And if you're looking to lose weight, the primary benefit of intermittent fasting, so the key thing that intermittent fasting does that makes you lose weight, is that because you're in such a long window of time where you don't eat, it forces your body to go through all of your glucose stores, and then because it needs to continue surviving to burning calories, it then has to go to your fat stores. And so what this does is over time it trains your body to burn fat more efficiently. What's the best way to start intermittent fasting? I think that this is a very important point to make. If you have never done intermittent fasting before, I would not suggest you go straight to a 16-hour window, or definitely not to a 24 or 36-hour window of fasting. This is something you need to work towards. And an important thing to remember about intermittent fasting is that it's not really a diet. It's more of a lifestyle, because you shouldn't look at intermittent fasting as a fad, something where I'm going to do this for a couple of weeks, I'm going to lose a few pounds, and that's going to be it. And the reason is because there's so many other benefits than just losing weight to intermittent fasting. Personally, I do a 16-hour window, usually 5 to 6 times a week. And I've noticed, first and foremost, I've lost weight. Secondly, I noticed that during the eating period, I'm just not as hungry. And I think because it trains your body that you can go hours and hours without food. And so you're not always, every couple of hours, you're not reaching for a granola bar, or, that you've got to you've got to consume calories. You just don't experience that when you go through this program. I sleep better. My mood is better. It's more level. You don't have the sort of the peaks and valleys. And it's just there's so many benefits to intermittent fasting that I strongly encourage you try this. But if you're going to do it, I suggest you start out with maybe a 10 to 12-hour window of fasting. So let's say you have your last meal at 8 o'clock at night. Try not to eat anything until 6 o'clock or maybe 7 o'clock the next day, which shouldn't be too difficult. If you eat at 8 o'clock, you go to bed at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, you wake up and you can eat. And so that's usually the best way to do this. So as long as you put your sleep time within that window of fasting, that usually is 8 to 9 hours, right there. So you knocked out 8 to 9 hours of your fasting period, and this makes it that much easier. Most people who do intermittent fasting typically will follow a schedule where they skip breakfast. So again, let's say they have their last meal at 8 o'clock in the evening. They would then go to bed. They would wake up. They would skip breakfast, but then they would have lunch at say 12 o'clock, and so that would satisfy that 16-hour window. And if you follow a similar schedule, or at least keep your schedule consistent, I think it'll become much more easy for you to follow this program. As far as how many days per week you should do this, typically, if you're going to do a 16-hour interval, I would say do it at least 3 days a week, up to 7 days a week if you'd like. And if you do a 24-hour interval fasting window, I would say don't do that more than 1 or 2 days per week, and especially if you're going to do a 36-hour window, not more than 1 day per week. It's just too long a time to go without calories. It's also so long that you will ultimately, it's hard not to succumb to the hunger pains that you'll experience if you go that long without food. But one thing to remember is that even if you shoot for a 7 day period of time where you do, 7 days a week, use 16-hour interval fasting, don't kill yourself if you miss a day or two. You will still get the benefits, even if you only do this 3 days a week. You will get the benefits of intermittent fasting. Okay, and so quite frankly, doing it 7 days a week is not very realistic, especially if you have any kind of social life. Sometimes you go out, sometimes you have a drink, you might have a late dinner. If you do, it's okay. Just get back on it the next day. Start the next night with your fasting window. It's okay. Just again, make this a lifestyle change. Don't make this something where you're just going to do for a couple of weeks. 'Cause I guarantee you will see tremendous benefits from this program. So another important thing to point out is, so what can you consume during a fasting period? Well, the great thing is you're not just limited to water, although you should drink lots of water. But you can also you can drink pretty much any non-caloric fluid. So black coffee, diet soda, Crystal Light, or any other sugar-free drinks. You can consume those. I wouldn't suggest you consume those too much. I think water needs to be your ultimate fluid intake for that period of time. But some folks, including myself, have found that sometimes consuming some of these other non-caloric drinks will help sort of ease the hunger spells that you may come across. Don't forget, so intermittent fasting is more of a lifestyle than a diet. You don't have to restrict calories during the eating period. Don't try to only eat 1,000 calories and then go fast for 24 hours. That's not going to work. You're not going to experience the benefits of this program. Also, don't overdo it. But the fact is, the great part about this program is you're not restricting what you eat, and to a certain extent, you're not restricting how much you eat either. You can still eat the 2,500 calories or the 2,000 calories or whatever you usually eat. You can still do that. It doesn't mean you should eat fast food for every meal of that window of time, but don't kill yourself. Don't be eating celery sticks and carrot sticks and that's all you have for that period of time. Don't do that. Enjoy yourself. Go out to eat. It's okay. Um, like I said, the biggest part about this is just making sure you have that fasting window. That is the key part. Don't focus. That's why this is so contrary to what people normally think about when they want to lose weight or get healthy. They think they have to watch what they eat and restrict not just what they eat, but how many calories they eat and all this. And you shouldn't focus so much on that. Doesn't mean you should, like again, doesn't mean you should eat a bunch of crap, but don't put all your focus on that. Put your focus on making sure you have that window of time where you fast. So I wish you the best of luck with this program. I think if you work at it, you stick with it, give it a week, give it 2 weeks. I